Welcome to the channel, guys. Suppressor technology is evolving really fast, and today we're going to be looking at something brand new, built tough, and made right here in my home state. This is the Rhino X from Ridgeback Defense, a brand new company that's already making waves with their 3D printed suppressor designs. Ridgeback Defense might be a new name in the suppressor world, but they've come out swinging with their new suppressor designs. Based right here in Kentucky, this company has a special significance to me. I love to support Kentucky companies. It's not every day you get to test gear that's made in your own backyard, especially when it's this impressive. So be sure to stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss the Ridgeback Defense Rhino X. Guys, if this video somehow slipped past the YouTube gatekeepers and made it into your For You page, please take just a second, drop down in the comments and let me know. It would be nice to know how many miracles we're working with here. You guys did a great job on my last video. Drop it down in the comment section. Up until YouTube age restricted the video and the views went down to absolutely nothing. So it looks like they're going to find a way to screw me over one way or the other. But I really appreciate everybody that takes the time to comment, no matter what you're commenting. That helps with the algorithm and lets YouTube know that despite their beliefs, you still care about the Second Amendment firearm content. So by liking, subscribing, and commenting, you're helping fight the anti-gunners that moderate for YouTube, and I greatly appreciate it. Ridgeback Defense is a brand new suppressor company, and they specialize in 3D printed low back pressure suppressors. It seems like nowadays low back pressure is a must-have for modern setups. It's especially a nice feature on short barrel guns where gassing can become a problem. One thing I wanted to clear the air about, I know there are some misconceptions about 3D printed suppressor technology. Some people view it as cheap and inferior way of making suppressors. That's far from accurate. When it's done right, 3D printing can take suppressors to a whole new level that many people thought wasn't attainable before, including myself. Up until this point, I avoided low back pressure or flow through suppressors. In my mind, whenever I buy a suppressor, it's to make my gun quieter. And up until recent years, if you heard low back pressure or flow through, that probably meant that that suppressor was going to be pretty loud. Thanks to the advances in 3D printing technology, they're able to design baffle stacks that are quiet while still allowing a lot of that gas to flow through the suppressor, be slowed down in that process so you don't get a loud pop out here at the front of the can. 3D printing allows suppressors to be made out of very exotic metals that are able to withstand heat and have higher wear resistance than traditional manufacturing processes might allow. And when it comes to suppressors, you can definitely see the market trending towards 3D printed technology. You get a very superior product that's able to withstand a lot of heat and a lot of abuse. And that's the case when it comes to the Rhino X from Ridgeback Defense. Ridgeback Defense has tested the Rhino X up to 6 full magazines of 5.56 in under a minute. So that's a lot of high heat and abuse to put on any kind of suppressor. One reason the Rhino X is able to withstand that kind of abuse is it's made entirely of Inconel, a very strong metal that has a high heat tolerance and incredible wear resistance. It's a fantastic material to manufacture suppressors out of. Inconel tends to be the material that a lot of suppressor companies go with when they want to build a very strong and tough suppressor. Let's get on with taking a look at the Ridgeback Defense Rhino X. If you're not interested in all the technical stuff and you just want to see the shooting portion, you can skip to this time on the screen and go check that out. The Rhino X is a 5.56 K can. I definitely have a thing for 5.56 K cans. Even though most of them are not quiet at all, I just love the look of a short can on an AR-15. I just think they look a lot better. Another advantage we've seen from modern technology advances in suppressor design is you can get a pretty quiet K-can nowadays. And that's definitely the case with the Rhino X. Ridgeback Defense has the decibel rating for the Rhino X on a 10.3 inch 5.56 at 136 decibels, which is insane. So at just 5 inches long and 12.5 ounces in weight, this is a nice compact, lightweight suppressor that has really high performance. The diameter of the Rhino X is 1.625 inches, really good diameter for a suppressor. I like 1.625 inches or 1.75 inch diameter suppressors. As I mentioned earlier, the Rhino X is made entirely of Inconel, which is a super alloy known for its insane strength and heat resistance. When you plan on running a suppressor hard, Inconel is what you want. Full auto, high round count, or on a short barrel 5.56. Inconel is built to handle that kind of abuse. It's hard to show the internal design of a suppressor. I'll throw up some footage on the screen, the best shots I could get of the internals. You can see the Rhino X has a very unique baffle design, and hopefully you can tell around the perimeter of the blast baffle it's got some vents that allows gas to pass through the outer diameter of the suppressor. I'm guessing all the baffles are made that way to allow the gas to flow through, and you can see around the outer wall that it's got a spin to it, so there's definitely some geometry in there to slow that flow through gas down a little bit. And up here on our end cap, hopefully you can tell we've got vents around the perimeter of the end cap. Those vents are going to allow that slowed down flow through gas to vent out the front of the suppressor. Now, where the Rhino X really shines is on 10.3 inch and other short barrel 5.56 guns. Ridgeback Defense specifically designed the Rhino X to thrive in that role, and it definitely shows. The low back pressure design helps reduce gas blowback to your face. It's going to keep your gun running cleaner, and you're going to have less wear and tear on the internal parts of your rifle. Low back pressure suppressors just make the whole shooting experience more enjoyable, and they're just a lot better for your health because you're going to be exposed to a lot less of that toxic gas back to your face. Let's mount the Rhino X up and see how it sounds. I'm going to start off with my 10.3 inch SBR, and we'll try it on a few other hosts with different barrel lengths to see how it performs across different 5.56 guns. Alright, I got the Rhino X mounted to my 10.3 inch 5.56 AR here. If you guys would like to see a video overview of this build, be sure to let me know down in the comments. The Rhino X was built to thrive on a 10.3 inch barrel. Let's see how it sounds. Alright, yeah, that's definitely got a good sound to it. Nice deep tone. Let me take an ear off and listen to it. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. Let's take our ears all the way off. Oh yeah. Not bad at all. Nice. No discomfort at all. Actually, the loudest part of this is when the bullets hit the steel plates. That's way louder than the gunshot is. The Rhino X is doing an excellent job of keeping that gas out of my face. Nice. The fact that I was able to shoot this short barrel 5.56 without ear pro should tell you everything you need to know about how good the Rhino X sounds. This is a very quiet K-can. Alright, now I got the Rhino X mounted up to my 14.5 inch BCM. I'm confident enough after shooting it on the 10.3 that I'm not even going to bother putting ear pro on. Let's see how it sounds on this 14.5. Alright, 14.5 inch barrel. Nice. Alright, the Rhino X was really impressive on the 10.3 inch. It's even more so on this 14.5 inch. Let's change it up a little bit and see how it does on 22 arc. Alright, now I've got the Rhino X mounted on this 16 inch 22 arc. If you're not aware of 22 arc, it's quite a bit more spicy than 5.56. This round shoots heavy 22 caliber bullets up to 90 grain in a 6.5 Grendel size case. It's quite a bit more powerful than 5.56. These rounds happen to be 75 grain Hornady Black 22 arc. So let's see how the Rhino X deals with 22 arc. Definitely going to start out with Ear Pro with the 22 arc. I don't know what to expect here. And unfortunately guys, I'm going to run this brass catcher because I do reload for this caliber and the cases are fairly expensive. I don't want to risk losing any in the grass here. All right, here we go. Alright, the Rhino X actually sounds really good with 22 arc. Hopefully you guys can tell there by the video, the Rhino X sounds really good despite its small size. It manages to tame the bark of 5.56 quite well. Now a can this small on a short barrel 5.56 is never going to be movie quiet, but the performance out of this 5-inch Rhino X is really impressive. It has a really nice deep tone to it. The tone of a suppressor is really important, and the lower and deeper that tone is, typically the better it sounds to your ear. The Rhino X definitely does a great job of knocking the edge off 5.56 without adding a ton of weight and a ton of length to your gun. Being fully 3D printed, the geometry of the Rhino X is optimized in ways that traditional manufacturing just can't touch. The baffle structure is engineered to efficiently manage heat and pressure. Another thing that stood out with me on the Rhino X is the looks. I think it's a really attractive can. I love the design of the dimpling. I think that looks good. The flash hider feature on the can is recessed to not add length to the suppressor. I really like that when suppressor companies do that. And one thing that's become very common, thankfully, that's easy to look over, is the fact that it's hub threaded. I really do appreciate suppressor manufacturers standardizing on the hub threading. That way you can use the mounts and muzzle devices that you already have on hand. You're not having to invest in proprietary parts to be able to run your suppressor. The build quality is really impressive. You can tell Ridgeback Defense isn't just trying to print something flashy. They're making a duty grade suppressor that's meant to be ran hard. Now that I've had the Rhino X on a few different platforms, ranging from 10.3 inch barrel up to 16 inch barrel, one thing that really stands out, it balances really well on the end of a gun with its 12.5 ounce weight, and the tone stays consistent across all those different barrel lengths. Ridgeback Defense might be a brand new company, but the Rhino X shows they're not here to play catch up. They're leading with innovative designs, tough materials, and performance that punches way above its size. I'm proud to see a suppressor company like this coming from my home state, and I'll definitely be watching close to see what they do next. I highly recommend you guys follow them over on Instagram. They really show in-depth videos of their process. They've got videos showing these suppressors being made from scratch. It's a really neat thing to see, and you get a sneak peek of designs that they have in the works, such as a 3.8 inch 5.56K can. That's something I would really be interested in after seeing the performance of this 5-inch can. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think of the Rhino X. If you have a favorite 5.56K can, I'd like to hear about it. If you found this video helpful, please take a second to hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe with all notifications. I really appreciate you guys watching. Stay safe, stay dangerous, and be sure to catch me on the next video.